Hasn't ran since April 2018. Still working on it. But no seat. And look at that. He's riding it around. He's still fine-tuning it. We still got to order a carburetor kit for it, probably, maybe some points. But look at that, folks. 1968. I'm the original title owner on it. Maybe the very first Honda Scrambler that has ever came to the United States. There's no VIN number on that right fork, as I explained earlier. In 1968, they shipped these motorcycles to the United States. Shortly after, the United States said, you have to put a VIN number. So they took the information off the left fork, and they made a tag that they screwed to the right fork. That motorcycle doesn't have that tag, doesn't have holes for a tag, nothing. And my neighbor loves motorcycles. Closer and closer we're getting to that motorcycle being done. And he's had it for less than a week. And this other guy had it for 7 or 8 months. I think I took it to the other guy in October. Maybe November. I think it was October. And he told me in December he had one last customer left, and then he's going to work on my motorcycle. January, I ordered these parts because he said the parts wouldn't work from my 71 motorcycle. I keep telling you it's a 72, but it's a 71. And he has used parts off of that motorcycle, and it's running. It's not perfect, but it hasn't started since April 2018. And I already explained why. And so, in May, last week, I brought it home. And here it's working. And here is where the tag on the left fork is. Right here, that's where they identify the motorcycle. It'll tell you what kind of motorcycle it is. And then on the right fork is where they put that label. And as you can see, there's no holes, there's no tag, and that's why I'm saying this motorcycle could be the very first motorcycle that came from Japan to the United States. Prove me that I'm wrong. This is a 71 motorcycle. There's the left side of the frame that has all the information. I'm going to take you over to the right side of the frame, and you're going to see the ID plate that they put on. There's the ID plate that they put on. It's the exact same information from that left side, and that in 1968, United States required a VIN number put on the motorcycles, and that's how they did it. My 68 motorcycle, no holes, no tag, And that is why I love that motorcycle. Me being somebody who loves collecting antiques, clocks, etc. Love the history. That's why I keep telling you, it could be the very first motorcycle that came to the United States. They made this type of Scrambler from 1968 to 1972, I believe. And then they went to a 400, and my neighbor tells me that they do make a Scrambler that has a 750 motor in it. But what time frame was that?
I'm speechless on that one right now.
I'll look it up, and I will. There's a web page that I found while researching my motorcycle, and it gives you a lot of good information. And I'll post that to this video. But the unfortunate thing is my gas tank is rotted through. There's holes. There's Bondo that's coming off. This is the gas tank from that 71 motorcycle. It is longer than the 68 motorcycle. The seat for the 68 motorcycle will not fit because the gas tank is longer. The seat actually comes to about right here. So he's going to try to save me some money, but there is a gas tank on eBay for $300. There's a seat on eBay for $300. And so I haven't ordered that stuff yet. But it is getting there. It's alive. It just needs its medication to run properly. Tell me what y'all think about this video, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
I seem to have deleted some web pages that I had. I don't know what I did with them. But here's the web page, and I'll leave this in the description of this video. And it shows that the Honda Scrambler was from 1968 to 1973, the CL350 Scrambler. And it gives you a lot of information, and I'm not going to read all this information. I'll let you read it for yourself. And so I'm going to see if I can find some more web pages. Here's a web page. I'm not going to leave this in the description of this video, but you can type all this information here in your browser, and you can hit enter and it'll bring it up. But here it says, introduced in 1969, the Honda CL350 was a factory Scrambler version of the CB350 Twin, one of the Honda's most successful machines. 324cc, 33 horsepower parallel twin engine, earned a reputation. And I hit the wrong button. Earned a reputation for rugged reliability that continues in vintage racing circles today. It says it's sold over 300,000 copies being sold in the USA alone. It says introduced in 1969, but my motorcycle is a 1968. Here are some for sale. Here's one for $1,600. Here's another one down here for $2,550, or $2,700. Sorry. Here's one for $3,300 in 1972. I think my motorcycle is very valuable because, like I said, it could be the very first motorcycle that came to the United States, because it doesn't have that ID plate. I used to have a web page on my computer. I had to get a different computer. I thought I had all my web pages, but I had a web page that showed more information, and I cannot find that web page right now. Here's another web page that you could type in and get this information. But this web page shows you a little bit of history, and it says Honda introduced the Scrambler in 1968. This pre-production brochure was prepared by an artist and a paintbrush, but this is just showing the information on the motorcycle, specifications, shows you this manual. And by the way, I have an original owner's manual. Again, all the stuff that I have is why I think my motorcycle is worth more than a lot of these other motorcycles. It shows here that the top speed is 100 miles per hour. My neighbor working on it is probably going to check out that top speed. And when you want to know history, where do you go? WIKIPedia. This is what I had before, I believe. And it shows, like I thought, they were produced from 1968 through 1973. And then they went to a different motorcycle. In 1974, the CB360 replaced the CB350. So the 360 replaces the 350. And the CB350F, introduced in 1972, was a completely different model. In 2020, the CB350 was re-released in India. And one thing about the Honda CB350 is to determine whether it's a Scrambler, let's see if I can find it on here or not, is the muffler system. Here it says Honda CB350 top speed is 110 miles per hour, claimed. And here's the information that I read before. The 350s from 1968 to 1973, and then the CL360 took over. They had other motorcycles, but the 350 was one of the most popular. And here's the CB 750 my neighbor was talking about. From this doesn't show before 1970, but here it goes all the way up to the 80s. I'm trying to find, here it is, CB350 was also introduced in Scrambler form. It's not what I was looking for. Here's the gas tank my neighbor was telling me about. It's $300. And it says for CI 350. I'm not for sure if a CI 350 would be the same thing in the CB 350. In this web page, it shows how to identify what year you have. Here it says CB350 bin numbers have a K after the CB350. The number that comes after the K designates its year. 68 was CB350 K0, 69 was K1, 70 would be K2, 71 would be K3, etc. I think I said that right. I'm kind of tired. Here's my titles. This is for the 1968. It says, in April the 19th, I became the original title owner. Here is the title for the 71, and I bought that back in 2018 also for parts. It was previously in Illinois. And here is my manual. I got some paperwork in here that I printed off before. Let me see what it shows. Here I bought some points for it at Bluff Power Sports back in, let's see, 2017. Here's Chili Blue Book value shows in good condition on the average $1,535. Okay, in excellent condition, $3,030. And here's the original shop manual for that motorcycle. And here's the information that somebody wrote in. I'm going to have to take this book down to my neighbor and let him check it out. And here's some notes for me and the DMV. And this is how I got my title. I originally bought this motorcycle through my cousin's husband, who's now passed away. He bought a building on the state line. It was through back taxes. And inside that building was this motorcycle and a couple other motorcycles that I should have bought off of him. And I want to say I paid him $300 for the motorcycle. And I asked him to look for the titles. Well, he never did find a title. And I'll tell you that in a little bit why. And so I went and tried to get a title for it through the DMV locally. And they said that I would have to get my cousin's husband, because he owned the building, to fill out some paperwork. And he never did. And so I applied for abandoned vehicle. And the abandoned vehicle has to be left on your property for at least 5 years. So when I went to the Jeff City DMV, I had to fill out a couple forms, and they asked me questions, and one of the questions was, how long has the vehicle been on your property? And I said, at least 5 years. How did the vehicle get there? I'm like, well, I went to work one day, and I came home, and it was there. Which wasn't a lie. They didn't ask me the right question. If they would have asked me, how did the vehicle show up at your property? I would have said, I bought it through my cousin's husband. I paid him to get it and bring it to my property, because I was working. And that's exactly what happened. So I went to work one day, and while I was at work, he delivered it to my property. And which is the truth. It wasn't a lie to the DMV process. Anyway, he couldn't find a title because there was never a title on this motorcycle, and that's why I'm the original title owner. And back then, because it's a street/dirt bike, not everybody registered it for the street. And so they never got a title for it. So that's why I'm the original title owner. I hope you all liked this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and may God bless.